Hey, what's going on, Spotlight Nation? Your main man, DJ Wilson, with another installment of In the Spotlight. Today, we're going to be talking to the one and only Paris Drake. She's a author, producer, actress, and we're going to talk to her about her most important role of her life, being a loving mother. So I want you guys to take a minute, take a look at some of the projects she's working on, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Me till I said okay. Upon a day I will go and hear you say you wanted my time, you wanted my space. You got to I wasted a was me. I was a line behind the times, but on she was.
Black people moved in. You know, the neighborhood would go to shit, and property values would lower.
And they embedded that in their children, and so their children, you know, through no fault of their own, think like their parents. We should be, you know, have more sense of togetherness.
Now we're here with the woman of the hour, Miss Paris Drake. Hold on, let me get my Oprah Winfrey on right now. It's good to see you again.
Great to be here. I'm just excited to be here, and I appreciate you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. So what my viewers just saw, they saw a few clips of you. Talk about the video that we just saw.
Well, what you've seen is a little snippet of a movie that I did, a film that I did with Philip Andrew Morton. He is a native of St. Louis.
Yay.
He's in LA now. He did a film called Spanish Lake, and it's so crazy the way that we met. He came here to shoot the film Spanish Lake, and he was asking, you know, he had his producer get on Craigslist and ask people, do they want to be interviewed for this film? Well, I happen to live in Spanish Lake. Yeah. Well, I was on the internet looking for a lawnmower. So
how does that happen?
Right. So it gets even crazier. So I see this post that says, you know, we're looking for people for this film. So I'm like, okay. So I write the producer back, and so the funniest thing that happened, he said when he talked to his producer, and you'll see this in the film Spanish Lake, he says when he talked to his producer, he says, we only have Matt is his name. He said, we only have one person to, you know, hit us back as far as the film is concerned. And he said, well, where does the person live? And he said, Maple. Matt said Maple. And he said, from that moment, I knew she lived in the house that I grew up in.
Oh, wow.
And that's how that happened. And we became great friends up until this day. We talk on, you know, every now and then. But he's a really good guy. He makes really great films. And I think that's just the craziest story. How does that even happen?
Exactly, because Craigslist bridges people together.
Bridges the gap.
Yeah. And to find out she's just looking for a lawnmower.
Just a lawnmower.
Now, Paris, you're definitely out here in St. Louis doing your thing. You're always looking great, always
you.
Red carpet ready. So I know it's a team that gotta help you put this together. Who are your girls? Who puts Paris Drake together when she's hitting all these red carpets?
Well, I do have a few people that help me do, you know, some things. I have East Henderson. You can find her on Facebook. She is a phenomenal designer. I mean, just amazing. She's really young. She's like in her 20s, and she designs like she's Vera Wang or someone.
Really?
So yeah, she's really good. You can find her on Facebook. And then I have Tiny from Tiny Jewels. She always has little pieces from me. This is where I got this piece from. She'll say, and because I don't normally do pink, And when I said I need something for this show, and she said I got something, but I don't know if you're gonna like it. And I'm like, okay, what's wrong with it? She said, just when you get here, you'll see. So when I got there, I saw it was pink, and I said, no, you know I don't do pink. She said, but it'll look good on you. So this is how it ended up. So that's Tiny Jules. You can find her as well on Facebook.
So shout out to both of them ladies for always keeping Paris Drake looking fabulous.
Thank you,
You know,
darling.
because she's a socialite. She got to be out here, and she looks good. So let's get into this. You know, you out here doing your thing, producing and being an author, but it all started somewhere.
Okay.
So I heard a story about, I guess it was a childhood girl in the neighborhood, and pink hair is all I can remember, and some MC Hammer pants.
Oh, goodness.
But that was your first studio experience that brought us to Paris Drake in 2016. So talk to us a little bit about that.
Yes, there was a girl in the neighborhood. She was an older girl. I was about 7. And she was a teenager. She was like 16, 17. Her name was Sheila. Now, Sheila was so fly, or so I thought at the time. She had pink hair. She had MC Hammer pants. That was, the Hammer pants was the thing to do. So much so our mother really couldn't get us any, so she made us some, but that's a whole nother story. Anyway, Sheila says, I'm going to the studio, you want to go with me? I'm 7 years old. I don't know anything about studio, but I definitely want to go. So I go to the studio.
Somebody you looked up to.
Somebody I looked up to, yeah. So I go to the studio, and her and the guy, they make this song. And I remember this song is called Caught in the Act. Even my sisters can sing this song to this day. We remember this song because she gave me a tape. And when I came home, I played the tape for my family, and they was like, that's cool. Where were you at? My mom was like, who told you you can go to the studio? But that's a whole nother story. Anyway, we know this song to this day. And hearing the playback, I was like, I want to do that. Like, I want to be able to sing something or do something and hear that playback and people, like, feel it. So that was my induction into the studio entertainment. Like, it was all about Sheila.
Wow.
All about Sheila.
And where is Sheila at today?
I couldn't tell you, but I tell you, Sheila started the pink hair, and Sheila was doing that back in the day.
Wow, wow. And see, and this is what, just that moment of you being in the mix of this is how this works. Now your creative mind is led, and it's taken off. And that's the reason why you're successful in doing everything that you're doing today. So we're going to fast forward to today. You got a lot going on. You have a radio show.
Well, I don't have a radio show. I am public relations at KSTL 690. It's a Christian radio station. Shout outs to PK Hernandez. And that's what that is.
So would you find, I guess I'm a little bit mind-tracked here. We're going to edit that part out, forget that part. But what do you think about the entertainment here in St. Louis? You're around all the time. You see all the action. You're in the mix. So what do you think about our young actors, singers, models? I don't know how much you're into, be at all the fashion shows, but St. Louis got a lot of fashion shows going on.
I've heard.
So what do you think about?
I know Michael Jones is doing his thing.
Yeah, I'm hosting that. He got a show.
Shameless plug. Shameless plug.
June 19th, Daddy Daughters, right there at the Lux. But Michael Jones is doing his thing.
Yeah,
he's doing his thing.
Indeed.
So just, outside looking in, a lot of people don't look at St. Louis as being a entertainment
force to be reckoned with.
Exactly. And I've been to a few events this past weekend. We have a lot to offer here.
Indeed.
So just, with a person of your caliber, what do you think?
I think that we have an extreme amount of talent here. It's unfortunate that we don't get the shine that other larger cities get. However, like I said prior to saying this, St. Louis is a force to be reckoned with. We have amazing entertainers. We have amazing actresses and actors. We have just everybody who's in the industry. We have the same type of people to do it, like the Sunshine
series.
Sunshine series.
Yes.
Sunny did her thing, and I was very impressed. I just think we have so much to offer, and we don't have the outlets like other cities, major cities, to really, display what we have. But we definitely have. We have our Coco Souls, which she is phenomenal.
Yeah.
We have our Wild Mans. We have our Nico Smiths. We even have our
Shout out to
Flirts.
him.
Flirt is a whole different. He's a whole different entertainer. But we just have so much in the musician side. I mean, we have Butch Woody, we have Jesse Prather. I mean, we just have so many phenomenal, and the list goes on. I tell you, we really have. We're forced to be reckoned with, and once we get that door kicked open, I mean, of course, we know who kicked the door open, but once people say, wait a minute, let's take a look at St. Louis, I think we'll be on to something.
And I agree with you 150,000%. But in my intro, I stated that you are an actress, and I believe, and you probably agree with me, the best role of your life is being a mother.
Oh my God.
So let's talk about London Bridge. That's why I call her every time I see her, London Bridge.
I guess I didn't do her any good.
Yeah, London Bridge.
London she is an amazing child. She's extremely smart, and it kind of chokes me up when I talk about her because I wasn't even supposed to be able to have London. They've been telling me since I was 20 I can't even have kids.
Wow.
So when she popped up on me, I was like, oh, okay, then that's okay. And it's kind of a bittersweet moment having her.
Yeah.
Because a lot of women, and a lot of people don't talk about this, but a lot of women suffer postpartum, after having the baby, and I suffered it severely. I didn't even go home with London. My grandmother took London home. I stayed in the hospital for 3 weeks.
Wow.
And I was postpartum for a year and a half after I had London. But my grandmother nursed me back to health. I mean, my grandmother was phenomenal in the, just getting my health back in order so that I can get back to what I do. I mean, I slept in my grandmother's bed. She slept on the couch. Wow. That's how, she made sure that my head was together. And so that was just a time in my life. It was very dark. And it was kind of like a wilderness experience, if you will.
Yeah.
And I just heard my pastor say this today. He said, the phone doesn't work the same way in the wilderness. So when you think that, you have people and, you really realize who your friends are in the dark days and in the wilderness days. But, London is, she's a joy. And her name, everybody says, you just named her that because your name is Paris. Well, of course I did.
I was one of the main people that thought that. I thought that too.
Let me tell you how I named it. Long story less long. There's a Charles Dickens, A Tale of Two Cities. He's one of the great authors of the French Revolution, during the French Revolution time and the Renaissance period. Mm-hmm. And he had a book, and it's really one of his greatest work, A Tale of Two Cities. And it was about Paris and London in like a civil war. Mm-hmm. And so it was one of the greatest love stories ever told, in my opinion. So that's why I named her that, because it was one of the greatest love stories ever told. And that's kind of what it is for London. She's my love story.
And she's my London Bridge, and I'm going to continue to call her that.
Oh, jeez.
So, to go back on the post-depression pregnancy, if you could, getting through that, I can't imagine what it's like. I really can't, because, I'm a guy. But what would be, since you made it through and overcame it, what would be your advice for young women out there that's going through something that's similar, that's watching?
Well, first of all, you have to get help. Mm-hmm. Because you can't go through it alone. They have doctors and medicine for a reason. Yeah. And you have to have a support system. Hopefully, if you're going through that, take advantage of your support system. I had a village. I had my daughter's godmother, I had my mom, I had my grandmother, and my sisters, and they nursed me back to health. They made sure that I can do what I do now. And that's the best thing that you can have, is a supporting cast.
Yeah, that's good. So ladies, for those who are out there watching this, hey, if you are going through that, it's your first child, you're young, you're not really sure what to do, definitely make sure you go out and get help, because, for not just black women, all women, your kids, you need to be in your kids' lives.
Indeed. And as healthy as possible.
Yes. So definitely go out and get help. And get the love. And speaking of love, we're going to go to the relationship. See, a lot of artists and a lot of people that I interview, they hate when I ask this question, but I want to be nosy. Relationships. Is there a special guy for Miss Paris?
Can you repeat the question?
Is there a special guy?
I'm like not trying to hear this.
For Paris, is it a Rome meeting Paris? So what's a guy name, like a state name? We're gonna say Rome, because Indiana Rome. We're gonna say Rome. Is it a Rome for Paris?
Not at the present time. I thought I I was interested. I had an interest, and just didn't. Our schedules just didn't. You know, he was in where he was, and I'm here, and our schedules just never let us do that.
That's the best. That's the best part about it.
Why is that the best, DJ?
Because I don't have to see you every day.
Oh man, you don't. You don't want to see the person that you're in love with.
Put it like this. Put it like this.
Absence makes the heart grow fonder.
Well, I'm not. Well, yeah, but I'm gonna put it like this: if I'm dating a young lady and she's in and out of town, or we don't see each other, because I work a lot. You know, doing this show and doing my day job, I work a lot. So when I see you, we spend time together. We have the time of our lives. But when you gone, I gotta miss you to love you, I guess.
And that's fine. But if you never see a person, like if you never get to see them and they never get to see you, and the only time you can really talk is FaceTime, that's not gonna last long.
Well, yeah. So to the two females out there that I'm rumored to be talking to, you know, if we don't never see each other, it's okay. But when we spend time, I guarantee it will be the time of your life.
Oh,
so no guys, so no Miss Kurt. I'm gonna lose a lot of viewers over that. So no love interest for Paris.
No love interest for Paris. She's single. She's definitely single.
Fellas, she's single.
That doesn't mean I'm on the market. I'm just single.
She's okay. Whatever that means. I got some male viewers, so you know, hit her up. You know, it's Paris Drake on Facebook. I'm just putting it out there.
No, you didn't.
I love to play matchmaker.
Okay.
I'm a good matchmaker. I probably am terrible in relationships myself for the ones that know me, but I'm a great matchmaker.
Okay. Mm-hmm. I hold you to that.
Watch how many people inbox you after this interview. Just watch, and they gonna say DJ Wilson told me to do that. Fellas, y'all agree? All the fellas back there watching? No, it's playing. So, I know a good childhood friend of yours, Miss Chantel Nixon Clark, who also won Person of the Year early in January at the STL Star Wars. Shout out to her, but she's doing great things in St. Louis. So talk to me a little bit about her foundation, just to shout her out.
Chantel Nixon Clark, she has a foundation, Pink Angels Foundation, where she helps out those women who suffer from breast cancer. She's hands-on. She goes into the hospitals with them when they're doing their chemo. She also, you know, deals with their families, and she's just really hands-on, and it's supported by, you know, donations from foundations. I know she has something going on with Sam's, and so forth, but she's an amazing woman, and I knew her mother, and she was really an amazing woman. Well, and she, you know, she passed away from the illness, and so I'm just so happy for her that she has this foundation, because I think it's her calling. And Pink Angels Foundation, you guys look her up on Facebook and look her up on her website. She's doing an amazing job.
Shout out to Chantel. Good peoples. So, the interview of what we here for. Your new book. She's also not just producer, actress, she's also an author.
Okay.
We're going to talk about, first, this is your second book, correct?
This is my second book.
The first one, If You Do Better.
If you knew
better, you can do better.
You would do better.
Okay, you know, my mom has a copy of that too.
Thanks, Deborah. I appreciate that.
Yeah. So, with the success off this one, you did that book when you were 25.
25.
And now, we're not going to say her age now, but why so long?
Well, so much happens with the creative mind of creative people that you have your, what they call writer's block. Mm-hmm. And, you know, if for any musician, any author, you know, anybody who thinks creatively, you have these blocks. I was so blocked that I didn't even want to write anymore.
Really?
I thought that I was going to dissolve my business and just be done with it.
Really?
And then one day I had this thought in my head about this, you know, story. And I was like, I think I want to tell this story. Mm-hmm. And so that's how we get the second book at 35. So 25, first book, 35, and I'm okay with that. 35.
I didn't say it. I'm
okay with it. I'm comfortable in mine.
That's
you know,
good.
I'm getting better with time.
That's good. Now you're on your second book, you know, 35, and the title of it is A Woman's Worth. Only the Strong Will Survive in the Entertainment Industry.
Indeed.
Why that title? It definitely is a catcher. I can say that much.
Well, seems as though the entertainment industry, for the majority of the part, is a male-dominated industry. It's really difficult for women to break through. Now, there has been women who've done it and done it successfully. However, there is this thing where men, like, no male bashing. I'm not bashing the men.
No, she's not bashing us.
I'm not doing that.
Oh.
However, However, you make it hard for us to break through. And I understand it because it's like, if you're going to come in this industry with us, you got to be the best of the best. So I get it. However, sometimes they play a game with you and they like, you're going to do it my way or the highway.
Really?
And so this was my way of showing a woman that, she's in entertainment, but she still wants to support her husband and still find the balance.
Okay.
With being a supportive wife and not overshadowing him, but still living her dreams.
Okay.
So that's kind of how that came about.
And it is a dominated male industry, but like you stated, it is some women there or been successful. But what do you think this will change for them? So it's a fiction story.
Well, actually, I have interviewed all over the world musicians. I'm really trying to grasp the genre to base it under, because it's really a true story. Like, I've taken the interviews that I've gotten from different musicians and their wives and their stories, and I kind of interwove those stories in together. So it's definitely a true story.
All right, good.
It's certain areas in it where you can say, okay, I can see, I may even know that person, but
or I can relate.
I can definitely relate to that, and so it's definitely a true story. So I don't know the way that I tell it. I don't know if it's like a reality book. I don't really know what you call it, like reality TV, reality book. I don't really know. So I haven't really.
It sells. So if it's a reality book, you might get you a show. VH1,
Hey, I'll take it.
Mona.
Anyway,
You
I
watching
can get
Mona
it.
Scott Young? You watching? Might be a new hit maker right here.
I appreciate
But
it.
ladies and gentlemen, definitely go and get that book. It's awesome. Paris has done a wonderful job in pretty much everything you touch. You got the golden hand. And I have no doubts that this will be successful. So tell everybody, where can they find that?
You can find me at www.parisdrakeproductions.com. You can go there to pre-order the book. You can find me on Facebook, Periscope, Twitter. I'm all over social media, and it's not hard to find me. You can just, if you look my name up, I'll pop right on up.
There you go. So any book signings in working?
I'm thinking about August. Hopefully
Okay.
we can get this book signed and done in August. That's what I'm thinking. So that's the plan.
And I have no doubts that you can do that. You had the first one out, so you're going to put this one. We thinking movies in the future, right?
Indeed.
Yeah. And
Indeed.
I'm going to audition for all of that.
This guy.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you. I try to. So before we go, I want to try something new and fun.
Okay.
We're going to,
What's
this
that?
is a new game I'm going to start doing with all my interviews. It's called What's What. So since we're going to do What's What with Paris Drake.
Okay.
So what that is like a series of what questions, like what's the last time you bench watched, or just to give you an example, okay?
Okay.
You ready?
All right.
All right, it's kind of like the hot seat, y'all, so she's going to definitely have to answer these. All right, what's what with Paris Drake?
Okay.
What is the craziest thing you ever did to break up with a guy? Fellas, pay attention.
The craziest thing I ever did. You know what? I can't say it's something that I did to break up with him. Charlie's just acting crazy anyway, and he probably was just like, she crazy. I don't want to deal with it. I don't know. I don't. I don't know. Next question. I can't say.
No, we're going to stay on. No. All right, what's the craziest thing? Like, what's the last time you splurged on something that you didn't even need?
A splurge that I did not need. It was probably my sofa.
Really? What kind of sofa is it?
It's a
Louis?
white leather sofa. No, it's not Louis Vuitton.
I mean, well, this ain't it.
Of course.
This is mine. No,
No, it was just a white leather sofa that I had to have. My decor is white at home, and so I just had to have it. And it was a splurge, but I had to have it.
What's the funniest advice that you ever received that did not work? We're going to put them on blast for giving you the jacked up advice.
Oh, I don't know. We're going to have to move because I can't think of funniest advice. Oh, wait. It's something that my mom says. Oh, my mom always says this, and I can't say the whole thing, but she always says if they can't take a joke, then forget them.
Nah,
But she
I don't
says
think
it
she-
like,
yeah, I
but
don't
she
think-
says it like, forget them.
And do you use that?
Absolutely.
If they can't take a joke, so
Yeah,
yeah,
forget
so,
'em.
so that's actually some good. It's funny, but it's some good advice.
Right.
All right. Last, what's what?
Okay.
What would 2016 Paris Drake tell, whatever year you want to choose,
Okay.
a past year?
Okay.
Tell us a year and why. 2016.
2016, and what am I doing now?
What would you tell your past self? Like, say, if 2016 Paris can tell Paris Drake from 1998, don't do something back then. Like,
Oh my!
what would your future advice, well, your present self, give your past person?
I would say, be patient. Everything comes in its own timing. Everything. You know, we have a tendency to want to microwave something that should have been baked, and then we're trying to figure out how we're going to eat it. Just be patient. Everything comes in its own time.
And that's good. That's good. Thank you so much. I would tell my past self to run. 2005, run, DJ.
Stay,
run,
DJ.
Stay.
In 2000. No more running. Stay.
Thank you so much, Paris.
Thank
it was
you for
good. I
having
thank
me.
you for coming on the show and having this
thank you for
conversation
having
with
me.
us.
I've had an amazing time.
And you're gonna go for it. See, we have fun. You have fun when you come sit on the couch with DJ
This
Wilson.
guy. Yeah, that's all I'm
So definitely, hey, her book is out. She told you where you can get it, and she's planning a book signing in August. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss Paris Drake. Thank you for watching. This has been another installment of In the Spotlight, and I'm your host, DJ Wilson. Good night, St. Louis.